If your backyard bounce house turned into a flat vinyl pancake by August, or the slide was so short your kid was bored after 2 runs, you already know not all of these are built the same. I went through 9 bounce houses with a real, built-in slide, not a water park, not a trampoline with a ramp bolted on, and ranked them worst to best. Stick around, because the one that took the top spot solves a problem almost every other bounce house on this list has. Let's start from the bottom. Number 9. Little Tykes Jr. Jump End Slide. This is the smallest, most stripped-down option on the list, and that's exactly why it lands here. The slide is extra wide, built so 2 kids can race down side by side, which is a genuinely fun detail for a bouncer this size. It comes with a heavy-duty blower that has a GFCI plug for safety, a carrying bag, ground stakes for both the bouncer and the blower, and repair patches in case something pokes through. It's rated for ages 2 through 8, so it covers a wide developmental range for a first bounce house. Here's where it falls short. The maximum weight limit is 160 pounds total. That's not per kid. That's everyone inside combined. 2 average 5-year-olds can hit that number fast. And once you do, you're done, no matter how many kids are standing outside waiting for a turn. If you've got one small child and mostly want something for solo play, this covers it fine. If you're picturing a driveway full of kids at a birthday party, this isn't that. My take? This is a fine starter bounce house for a toddler with an older sibling, not a party centerpiece. It's compact enough to store in a closet, which matters if you don't have garage space, but you're trading capacity for that convenience. Treat it as the, does my kid even like bounce houses test, before you spend more on something bigger, which is honestly a smart way to buy your first one, instead of guessing big and being wrong. Number 8, Albot Inflatable Bounce House, 121 by 93 by 69 inches. Albot built this as a dry and wet hybrid, meaning the slide functions as a normal bounce slide on its own, or you can hook a garden hose to it for a water feature in summer. It's made from 420D and 840D Oxford fabric, which is a heavier-duty material than the thin polyester you'll find on some budget bouncers, and it includes a climbing wall and a small splash pool built into the same unit. The blower is included, and Albot states setup takes about 5 minutes. The catch is the weight limit. Albot recommends an individual user weight under 65 pounds. That's a meaningfully lower ceiling than most of the other entries on this list, and it puts a hard cap on how long your kids can use this before they age out of it. The listing recommends it for ages 3 to 8, but a heavier 8-year-old is already pushing past what the manufacturer recommends for a single rider. In my opinion, this one earns its spot because of the wet-or-dry flexibility. It's one unit that works as a winter indoor bouncer and a summer water slide, which is genuinely more use out of one purchase than most single-purpose bounce houses give you. But the low-weight ceiling means you're buying this for the toddler to early elementary window specifically, not something that grows with your kid for years. If your children are already solidly in the 60-plus pound range, this isn't going to have the runway you want. Number 7, H2O Go Slide-tastic Mega Bouncer. Bestway's H2O Go line built this one at 9 feet by 8.5 feet by 7 feet, officially rated for ages 3 to 6 on the product listing. 3 kids can use it at once. The bounce area and slide tower are both wrapped in mesh sidewalls so you can actually see your kids from any angle while they're playing, and the climbing wall has padded handles and footholes built in, which is a small detail that matters when kids are scrambling up and down repeatedly. The whole thing is double-stitched polyester and comes with the blower, a repair patch kit, a storage bag, and 11 stakes total between the bouncer and blower. The honest limitation here is the age range. This is sized and rated for younger kids specifically, 3 to 6. So if your crowd skews towards 7 and 8-year-olds, or you're mixing ages at a bigger party, this is going to feel small fast, and you'll have kids waiting outside more than playing inside. Where this one wins is setup speed and visibility. Inflating in under 2 minutes and having full sight lines through the mesh walls makes it a low-stress option if you're watching multiple kids solo, which is a real scenario for a lot of parents, not just a marketing line. Just go in knowing this is built for the preschool and early elementary crowd, not a mixed-age backyard party. Number 6, Hong Coral PVC Bounce House with Large Slide. This is where things start to feel more substantial. Hong Coral rates this one for 450 pounds of combined weight, with a jump area of 8.2 by 7.7 feet that the listing says comfortably fits 4 kids. It also throws in a basketball hoop, a soccer goal, and a toss game, so there's more to do in here than just bounce and slide. The company specifically markets this as PVC construction, that's built lighter than a true commercial rental unit, but tougher than typical Oxford fabric bouncers. The whole thing weighs about 30.6 pounds, which makes it genuinely easy for one adult to move and store. The trade-off is right there in how Hong Coral describes it themselves. This is deliberately positioned as lighter duty than a full commercial-grade unit. That's the right call for backyard use. But if you were hoping this would survive rental-level abuse, think back-to-back weekend birthday parties for a group of families, that's not really what it's built for. My honest read. For a single-family backyard that wants real capacity, 450 pounds is a big number for this price tier, plus a few bonus games built in. This is a smart pick. The smooth PVC surface also wipes clean easily, which after a summer of grass stains and popsicle drips is worth more than it sounds like on paper. Number 5. Little Tykes Jump and Slide. Little Tykes is one of the most recognized names in this category for a reason, and this is their core model. The inside bounce area measures 84 by 84 by 47.5 inches, built from polyester with double-stitched seams to resist rips. It has mesh closures on the sides for airflow and visibility, plus a small mesh pocket built in for shoe storage so you're not hunting for sneakers after playtime. It runs on a constant blow design, meaning the blower stays on the whole time kids are playing, and it inflates or deflates in under a minute. Everything folds into an included carrying case, and it comes with the GFCI blower, ground stakes, and a repair kit. Here's the thing worth flagging. This particular listing doesn't publish a maximum weight limit the way some of the other Little Tykes models on this list do. The JR and Shady versions both state their limits clearly, but this one doesn't spell it out on the Amazon page. It's worth checking the included instruction booklet before you assume it can handle a full group of older kids. It also doesn't come with a basketball hoop or climbing wall like some competitors bundle in. This is a straightforward bounce and slide unit, nothing more. I'd call this the reliable, no-frills choice. If you want a trusted brand name, a straightforward jump and slide layout, and don't need extra game features bolted on, this is a solid pick. Just don't assume it has an unlimited weight ceiling because the listing doesn't advertise one. Before we get to the top 5, here's a heads up. The one that ends up at number 1 on this list solves the exact capacity problem that's tanked half the entries so far. So if you've been frustrated by a bounce house running out of room the second more than 2 kids show up, keep watching. Number 4. Hong Coral 8-in-1 Large Bounce Castle with 2 slides. This one differentiates itself with dual slides instead of one, built into an 8-in-1 activity layout. The jumping area is enclosed with mesh protective walls that Hong Coral specifically notes are designed to keep airflow strong while kids play, and there are raised handrails running along both sides of the slide to give kids something to hold onto on the way down. It also ships with ground stakes for both the main unit and the blower, so the whole setup anchors down the same way the more premium entries on this list do. The catch here is transparency around the numbers. Compared to the single-slide Hong Coral model a few spots back, this listing doesn't publish the same level of detail on weight capacity or exact dimensions. That doesn't mean it's a worse-built product. It just means you should pull up the current listing and confirm those specifics yourself before buying, especially if you're planning to host a group of older or heavier kids. In my opinion, 2 slides is a genuinely fun feature for siblings or friend groups who don't want to wait in a single line. And it's a differentiator most of the bounce houses on this list don't have. Just do the extra step of checking the listing's current spec sheet for weight and size before you commit, since that information is thinner here than on some competitors. Number 3. Little Tykes Shady Jump and Slide. This is the shaded version of the Little Tykes lineup, and the canopy is the whole pitch. It's built with an arched shade structure over the top, 2 mesh doors for entry, and mesh side pockets for shoe storage. The jumping surface is 7 feet wide, rated for a maximum of 3 children, and a combined weight limit of 250 pounds. The full inflated footprint is 144 by 108 by 72 inches. It ships with the same heavy-duty GFCI blower, a repair kit, a storage bag, 4 blower stakes, and 6 bouncer stakes, backed by a 90-day warranty on the fabric and a full year on the blower. The honest catch is that 250-pound combined limit and 3-kid cap. That's enough for a couple of kids and maybe a younger sibling, but it's not built for a full birthday party crowd rotating through. If you're expecting 5 or 6 kids at once, you'll hit that ceiling immediately and end up with a line of kids waiting outside. Where this earns its spot is the shade canopy itself. On a hot afternoon, that arched cover is the difference between kids playing for 2 hours versus 15 minutes before someone overheats. If your yard doesn't have natural shade and you're dealing with a small group rather than a big party, this is a genuinely smart trade of capacity for comfort. Number 2. Bounceland Royal Palace. This is where capacity really opens up. The Royal Palace has a total inflated footprint of 13 by 12 by 9 feet, with an internal jumping area of 8.5 by 7 feet. A climbing wall leads up to a platform for a full 10-foot slide. There's a basketball hoop built in, and a removable sunroof you can Velcro on or off depending on the weather. It's rated for a maximum combined weight of 500 pounds, a max individual weight of 100 pounds, and up to 5 kids at once. Genuinely strong numbers for this size class. It's also independently certified. ASTM for consumer safety, 16 CFR 1500.3, and 16 CFR 1505 for material safety, and UL certification on the blower itself, which isn't something every brand on this list can claim. The trade-off is footprint. A 13 by 12 foot inflated size needs real yard space, plus clearance around it for safety. This isn't going into a small suburban side yard or a tight patio. If your outdoor space is limited, the numbers that make this bounce house great are the same numbers that might rule it out for you. My take, the third-party safety certifications alone make this worth the extra consideration, especially if you're hosting other people's kids at a party and want documentation to point to. Just measure your yard before you buy. This needs room to breathe. 2 spots left, and both of these solve the not enough room problem that's shown up again and again on this list. Number 1. Blast Zone Magic Castle Ultra 12. The Ultra 12 is the largest bounce house in Blast Zone's entire Magic Castle lineup, and it's built like it. It features an XL front slide with its own side entrance, which is a layout most of the other entries on this list don't have. Usually the slide dumps straight out of the main bounce chamber, but this one gives the slide a separate access point, so climbing traffic and sliding traffic don't collide as much. The whole unit is fully enclosed with safety netting, built from Blast Zone's puncture-resistant commercial vinyl on both the bounce and slide surfaces, and it holds up to 6 kids at once with a double-wide slide that lets 2 go down side by side. It ships complete with the blower, storage straps, stakes, and Blast Zone backs it with what they call a 2-year promise. The catch is exactly what you'd expect from the biggest unit on the list. This needs the most yard space of anything here, and it's going to sit at the top of the price range too, since it's positioned as Blast Zone's flagship model rather than an entry-level option. If your yard is small or you're buying for a single toddler who doesn't need 6-kid capacity, this is genuinely more bounce house than you need. But if you've read through this whole list wishing more of these could actually handle a full group of kids without someone standing outside waiting, this is the one built to solve that. The combined weight capacity, the 6-kid rating, and the separate slide entrance all point to a bounce house designed for real parties, not just 1 or 2 kids in a backyard. That's exactly why it takes the top spot. Quick recap by use case. If you've just got one toddler and want to test the waters, go with the Little Tikes Jr. Jump End Slide or the Albot. Both are compact and budget-friendly. If you want something built for shade and smaller groups, the Little Tikes Shady Jump and Slide has you covered. If you're feeding multiple slides worth of fun to siblings who don't want it to share a line, the Hong Coral Dual Slide model is worth a look. And if you're hosting a real party with a crowd of kids and want commercial-grade materials that can actually handle it, the Blast Zone Magic Castle XL10 and the Ultra 12 at number 1 are where you should be looking. Links to every product on this list are below so you can compare current pricing and check availability for yourself. Prices on these move constantly, so always confirm on the listing before you buy. If this list helped you narrow things down, let me know in the comments which one you're going with, and subscribe for more backyard gear breakdowns like this one.